Joining us now, I have Dan Perry, former Europe, Africa, and Middle East editor at the Associated Press, and also Rebecca Grant, national security analyst and vice president at the Lexington Institute. Good morning to both of you. Dan, let me start with you because you're on the ground in Tel Aviv. Constant sirens blaring, significant damage to dozens of structures across the city. What's it like living there at this time, on top of the 2.5-year war that's still ongoing with Hamas?
It is remarkable how human beings can sort of become accustomed to many things that would seem abnormal and absurd. So you get used to it. Israel is very well prepared because its air defenses are, in a word, spectacular. And they're able to intercept a vast majority, over 90%, I think, of the incoming missiles. And of course, society is prepared with shelters and safe rooms in most people's residences. So it's obviously nerve-wracking at times every few minutes to be dragged into the safe room. But I mean, there are worse things in life and in death that the region has seen in the past 2 years. But also you see diminishing numbers of rockets. The first day, it seemed every few minutes. For parts of the day, indeed, there were rockets. And right now it's become a rarity. So there is a sense in Israel that maybe on a domestic front, things might be quieting down, and also a lot of resilience, because whereas Israel is divided on most things, they're quite united on the idea that getting rid of the Islamic Republic regime in Iran is worth sacrificing for, and indeed is a favor to the Iranians themselves.
Rebecca, the Ayatollah's son has reportedly emerged as an early frontrunner to take over as Iran's supreme leader. Your thoughts on that and what you think comes next in the conflict?
This son of Khamenei had long been talked about as a possible successor. He's, of course, got a lot of ties to the IRGC, so I don't know. What I want to see, I think, and all of us do long term is a more stable leadership in Iran, and if someone good comes forward and stops the firing and accounts for the nuclear material, they'll get sanctions relief. But I think it's still too early to tell.
Dan, I know President Trump is reportedly looking at supporting the Kurds in Iran to help take out the regime, which could include supplying arms, possibly even training. How do you weigh such a move and the ripple effects if the president does give that go-ahead?
It's an interesting idea, and it's a dangerous idea, because the Kurds, while by any reasonable measure deserve their own country, they're a distinct ethnicity with a geographical contiguity and a proud history. That would destabilize Turkey, Syria, and potentially even Iraq, although Iraq has an autonomous Kurdish zone of its own. They're looking under every rock to figure out what might work when it comes to toppling the regime without requiring American boots on the ground in an actual invasion the way we did in Iraq, which didn't work out terribly well. I think there's a big fork in the road here. Either America tries to bring down the regime, and it isn't just the U.S. The U.S. and Israel and much of the Arab world is actually allied with this. Really bring them down and find a way to replace them with a whole new setup. And that's what the Kurdish gambit is about. Or they hope that the Islamic Republic might reform itself, and as Rebecca said, some better person might come along that might behave more reasonably, and maybe a deal can be done. It's not clear which is the wiser path, because you could argue that if you've gone ahead and done this, and the regime is so brittle, it appears, and it is so hated by the people, as is clear, maybe you just bring it down after 47 years, which has been a long international nightmare, because they are not fundamentally reformable. The idea that you do a deal that involves, as we've heard, sanctions relief and gives this regime more life may be least appealing to the Iranian public.
Yeah.
Because even if the regime behaves better internationally and ceases to support proxy militias around the Arab world, they would still be oppressing their own people, their own women. It may not be the best idea to give them that runway. And there's a big decision coming up, and it largely, incredibly, depends on Trump.
I got it into there, but Rebecca Grant, thank you. Dan Perry, thank you. And I hope for your continued safety there in Tel Aviv. Appreciate your time and perspectives.